Before we begin, I want you to answer one simple but brutally honest question. How many times in your life have you started something with huge enthusiasm, felt a burst of energy, promised yourself, this time everything will be different, and then, after a few days or weeks, everything quietly returned to your old habits? How many times did you feel motivation so strong that you were sure now it will finally work? I'll start training. I'll learn new skills. I'll control my money. I'll change my life. And each time, the same thing happened. The motivation disappeared. Your state changed. The mood faded. And you slipped back into your old behaviors. But inside, the same thought remained, something is wrong with me. But the truth is completely different. There is nothing wrong with you. The problem isn't you. The problem is that you were betting everything on the most unstable thing you have: motivation. You were trying to build a new life on an emotion that, by its nature, is temporary. It rises and falls like a wave. And if you build on it, your results will be the same: burst drop, burst drop. That's how millions of people live. That's how people live, who start a new life every January but return to the old one by February. Financial freedom, growth, success, these are not a sudden rise. They are not a moment. They are not a spark of inspiration. They are a road, and you can walk that road only with one tool: discipline. Discipline is not harshness, not deprivation, not suffering. It's not a prison. On the contrary, discipline is what gives you freedom. Freedom to manage your money, your habits, your life. Freedom not to be a slave to emotions. Freedom not to depend on your mood. Freedom to create your path instead of waiting for the universe to give you a convenient moment. We live in a world that constantly pulls us in the opposite direction. Marketplaces, ads, social networks, everything tries to steal your attention, your time, your money. You are constantly distracted, constantly pushed toward impulsive decisions. If you have no discipline, you lose before you even begin, because a massive system is working against you, built entirely on your impulses. But discipline breaks the system. It gives you back control. Discipline in spending is not about living in restriction. It's about not being a slave to impulsive purchases, not buying something just because it's on sale, beautiful, or everyone is buying it. It's about understanding where your money goes and why. Surprisingly, when a person begins to control their expenses, they realize for the first time in years that they never had an income problem, they had a behavior problem. They were earning enough, they were simply losing too much. Discipline in learning is not about reading smart books. It's about making yourself a little stronger every single day, so that each day gives you knowledge that makes you more valuable on the market, more competent in your profession, deeper as a person. When you learn consistently, not in bursts, your life begins to change quietly but inevitably. You become someone who grows every day, and the market always rewards those who grow. Discipline and self-development is what shapes your character. And here's something important: your income always matches your character, not your dreams, not your desires, not your potential, but your growth as a person. If you are chaotic, your income is chaotic. If you are lazy, your income is low. If you only react instead of creating, others control you. But if you are disciplined, your life becomes predictable in a good way. You begin to control your time, your energy, your actions. Discipline makes you someone who grows not on emotion but on structure. And here's the truth: structure always beats emotion. We often think successful people are naturally strong, special, born with willpower. But that's not true. They have the same weaknesses, the same lazy moments, the same days when they don't want to do anything. The only difference is this: they act not from desire, but from commitment to themselves. They don't wait for a spark. They don't build a life on emotion. They build a life on process. It's like building a house. You don't build only on days when you feel like it. You build every day because that's the only way to finish it. You can't build a foundation from inspiration. A foundation is built centimeter by centimeter, brick by brick. The same goes for discipline. People think discipline is hard, but it's only hard when you rely on willpower. That's like walking against the current. You can do it, but not for long. Willpower is a limited resource. It's needed to begin, not to continue. Discipline becomes real when it becomes a habit, and a habit is an action that doesn't require a decision. You just do it. That's why good habits matter so much. They remove the need to force yourself. They eliminate the internal battle. When you have structure, rituals, repeating actions, you become like a train on rails. Maybe slow, maybe fast, but always moving toward the goal. In moments of fatigue, motivation won't save you. In moments of stress, inspiration won't save you. Your automatic systems will. Your discipline built into your life will. And here's what's interesting: discipline eventually stops feeling like effort. It becomes inner calm. When you live by a system, anxiety disappears. You know you're doing the right actions. You know your life is moving in the right direction. You know you control your money, your habits, your growth. And that feeling is one of the strongest forms of freedom. When someone lives chaotically, their life is always stressful. They never know where their money goes, never know why nothing changes, never know what to do next. But a disciplined person lives differently. They have a path, a system, a rhythm. They don't need to guess. They simply act. And the most beautiful part: discipline begins to bring results even before you notice them. Externally, everything may look the same as a month or two ago, but inside you're already different. Stable, calm, confident, collected. Someone who finishes what they start. And when the breakthrough finally happens, others call it overnight success. But you know it wasn't a night. It was hundreds of days of consistent action that no one saw. And one more important idea: discipline is not about being perfect. No one is perfect. Everyone makes mistakes. Everyone falls. Everyone loses rhythm. A disciplined person is not someone who never fails, but someone who always comes back. Someone who doesn't quit because of one missed day. Someone who understands the journey is long, and one day doesn't matter, the system does. You may fall, but you continue. Tell yourself, I am the person who returns. That is more powerful than I will never mess up. Now think about this. What is one small daily step you are ready to add to your life? Not a big one, a small one, but consistent. Something that moves you forward every day. Maybe it's tracking your expenses. Maybe it's learning for 10 minutes. Maybe it's working on one small piece of your project. Maybe it's forming a habit that strengthens your character. Because your life doesn't change from one big decision. It changes from hundreds of small decisions repeated over time. If you want a separate video on discipline, financial behavior, character development, or building a second income stream, write it in the comments. I need to know what you want to upgrade next. Thank you for watching till the end. See you in the next episode.